Someone that I know recently who was not very interested in dreams and didn't really believe that there was anything much deeper to dreams, this person ended up having a dream that basically told the future. And I don't know how much of a breakthrough it might have been for them at that time, but it definitely seemed like it was an inspiring moment. It definitely was hinting to that person that there's something deeper behind these dreams, that it's not just haptic feedback, neurochemical, a byproduct of neurobiology. I think it's dreams are a lot more than that. And if you ask anyone, I bet you they'll tell you they've had some sort of dream that told the future at some point. If not, they know someone that did. The ability to travel beyond time with the mind is no surprise to us. We know we can travel backwards in time through our memories. And we know at all times we're traveling forward in time. But can we skip forward? Is there any way to do that? And if we were able to do that, what would be the mechanism behind that? So far, humanity hasn't built a tool powerful enough to excel us close enough to the speed of light to be able to test something like that. But what if our dreams give us glimpses into the future? What if our thoughts, what if our mind has the ability to travel beyond the speed of light or close to it? What if the mind has the ability to warp time? I don't think that it's too far-fetched to believe something like that, considering all of the different cases throughout history. Yes, they're anecdotal, but it does seem that there's a lot of cases throughout history showing that our dreams can give us glimpses into the future. So this person I know who was a non-believer in the power of dreams had this dream about a person. The next day, they went to a party and ended up seeing that person. It was a person that they claim they've never seen before. And we know a lot of scientists say that we can't dream of a face that we've never seen. But I think it's a little ridiculous because I do believe the mind has the ability to piece together different features from all of the faces that we've seen and to come up with somewhat a seemingly new one. But to see someone that you can be pretty sure you've never met before and see them in your dream and then meet them in real life the next day, that might open your eyes to something here, I would think. I've talked about it before, but I personally had an experience where I think I was 7 years old. I believe I was 7 years old, maybe 8. Trump gas been predicted to become so ill that he will not service. I don't know what you people are talking about in the chats, but all good. Inaugurated. He will not. Are you saying he will not survive to be inaugurated? Interesting. Well, yeah, we could talk about Trump all day, but I'm not really on that tip right now. The subject tonight is going to be telling the future in dreams. Now, I wonder, has anyone had dreams of Trump being assassinated? There's definitely a lot of interesting cases throughout history of different public figures having dreams about something that ended up happening to them. Supposedly, Abraham Lincoln dreamed of his own death in exactly the way that it ended up happening. Edgar Allan Poe also claimed that he had a dream about his wife dying, and then soon after, his wife died in the same way that he dreamed it. So there might be something to that. I personally, if any of you out there are watching this in the replay in the future, Dee Dee, I know you're going to be there. We've talked about this before, but anybody else watching, if you've ever had a dream that told the future, let me hear it in the comments. A brief overview or get as detailed as you'd like, because I'm curious. I think it's more common than a lot of people realize, honestly. And anyone else interested in these type of concepts, share this out. Let's share this out and see how many different dreams of the future we can come up with across all these different platforms. Well, I'm not on, it's not, this isn't going to Facebook right now, but between YouTube and TikTok, let's see what type of interesting dreams we can get in the comment section. Me personally, and I've talked about it before, but I will explain it again here. I had a dream. I was about 7 or 8 years old. Yeah, I was definitely 7 or 8 years old. That's when my grandfather died. I had a dream that I was in a burning house, which is also a common theme. In this burning, wasn't the house that I actually lived in. It was a house that I didn't recognize. But big houses is a common theme in my dream. So, and since then, I've definitely grown to recognize that. But I was about 7 or 8 years old. I had a dream that I was in this house that was burning down. I remember choking on the smoke and feeling like my lungs were getting ripped out of my body. I was able to climb out of the window and I fell down onto the ground because I was on the second story. And I remembered as I hit the ground that my grandfather was up there and he was in that top floor somewhere. And all I remember is screaming, trying to get back in, and my family holding me back. And my grandfather died in the dream in the house. It burned down and collapsed while we stood there and watched. And I remember the horror of that. I'll never forget that feeling. I was woken up abruptly from that dream by my mom, and she said we had to go to the hospital because my grandfather just got brought to the hospital, that he had something wrong with his heart. And it didn't happen right away, but we were in the hospital all night, and I think it was early the following morning or really late after that, he ended up passing away. They tried to do an emergency surgery on him, and it was not successful. And I don't remember all the details, but he passed away that night or the following morning. And I remember telling my mom about this dream on the way home. I've never forgotten that one. Thank you. Thank you for whatever you just sent. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that since then, that's one of the first things that piqued my fascination with dreams. It could be a coincidence, and I always realize that. But also in the many years I've spent since then studying dreams, I've come across countless cases, anecdotal cases, where people claim that their dreams predicted the future in one way or another. There's a lot of famous cases, like I know that when the Titanic sunk, a lot of people reported that they had that exact dream or a very, very similar dream. There's always the statistical probability though, and that's what I start thinking about at that point. Like my question is, how many dreams are happening within a 24-hour period across the globe? I don't think there's any real way to get that number, but it's an interesting thought. If everybody, we do know that everybody dreams every night, and we all have multiple dreams every night. It could be anywhere from 3 to 12 dreams on average. 30% of people claim that they don't remember their dreams. 30 to 40% claim that they don't ever really remember their dreams. But we know that they still dream. So, if everybody's having between 3 to 12 dreams a night, how many dreams happen across the globe within a 24-hour period? That's a lot. Now, what are the chances of something in great detail coming true in one of those dreams or a few of those dreams? The chances are probably pretty high. Like, say the chance of you having a detailed dream that ends up coming true the next day, just by chance, just strictly by chance, like if there's nothing even deeper to it, say the chances are 1 in a billion, that you're going to dream of something that's going to happen the next day. Well, if there's billions and billions and billions of dreams happening every night, it would be safe to say that at least a few of them, by chance, would end up coming true. So there's always that. I can't shy away from that fact. But there's something about when these dreams come true, the deeper connection we feel with them, the recognition that we have, the synchronization of our emotions with those dreams. I've never could have imagined how it would feel when my grandfather died. I was way too young at that point. I never really experienced anything like that. But I did get that same exact experience in my dream, and ended up feeling that experience the next day or just a few hours later. I mean, I don't know. Whether or not it's possible, it's still speculation, but I do believe that the human mind is the next greatest frontier, not space and not the oceans. They're great too, and there's a lot to explore there, but the human mind, I think it's the most untapped realm so far. I believe the mind, the conscious observer, has the ability to transcend these physical limitations that we experience. I know I'm not the only one that believes that. Even for those that have a strictly scientific perspective on these things, there's a lot of theoretical. I'm sorry, what was going on in the comment section there? I don't even know what these people are saying. From a strictly scientific perspective, there's a lot of theoretical philosophies that you can take, a lot of theoretical approaches. We've talked before about tachyons, and I will put up the edited version of that video, but we had a whole live dream session about tachyons. We didn't get into too much detail about it, but it's a really abstract concept, so I'm not going to get too much into it here. Maybe we can approach it again, but tachyons are a theoretical particle in physics that have the ability to travel beyond the speed of light. Now, Einstein wouldn't agree with this, but maybe considering some of the revelations that have come from quantum physics in the more recent years, I think he would have a lot more to say about it now. If tachyons have the ability to travel beyond the speed of light, that could mean that they have the ability to travel backwards in time. If they have the ability to travel at ultra speeds, even close to the speed of light, they could have the ability to travel forwards or faster through time than what we would experience. This is a mind-bending concept, but it actually works in the theory of relativity. We know Einstein has proven that as we get closer to the speed of light, time starts to slow down. And even with simple thought experiments, it makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you're familiar with Einstein's thought experiment with the train and the clocks. It makes perfect sense actually, theoretically, but we haven't had the ability to recreate it in a lab unless you consider some of the dreams that we're talking about here. If our thoughts can travel at varying speeds, and when we talk about the speed of thought, we're not talking about the speed of the neural activity in the brain, because neurons, the electricity in our brain travels at a measurable speed, but that's not the speed of thoughts. That doesn't necessarily, the speed of thoughts is a much more abstract concept that we haven't been able to pin down yet. So maybe these thoughts, maybe our minds have the ability to transcend time in ways that we've only speculated up until now. maybe some of these prophecies that have been written about throughout history are not so far-fetched. There's a few key examples throughout history of prophecies that supposedly came true, and I know I've seen how much Nostradamus has basically been debunked over the years, and it's not about the prophecies in that sense. It's a much greater, broader concept here. Um, I think because in the more recent years, I do believe that science has been merging with spirituality, as I've talked about before. Some ideas like the many worlds interpretation that we've talked about before, I think that could give us a reasonable explanation for how dreams could be glimpses into the future. And like we've talked about the universe and how even through the lens of skeptical scientists at this point is fundamentally being viewed as an infinite cosmic field of vibrations. Considering that if every one of these realities is vibrating at its own specific set of interconnected frequencies, the only thing it would take for us to be able to tune into them would be to match that frequency. That doesn't seem too crazy to me. I think maybe when we're reaching back in our mind and revisiting memories, we may be just tuning into that frequency. If the brain is like an antenna and we can tune into different channels the same way that a TV or a radio does, maybe in our mind we're viewing the past and the future on different screens. Considering the many world interpretations, that would also explain how we can have false memories and how we can have dreams of the future that end up not coming true or come true in different ways. Because the many worlds interpretation would posit that any and all possible outcomes will already have and are happening simultaneously. The experience of this flow of time is our stream of consciousness moving through these vibrations. But that's any and all possible outcomes and every combination of every outcome that we could possibly come out with. So that would explain some of the wild dreams that we have if we're tuning into those other realities and if we're able to somehow project into the future with our mind. Maybe our consciousness travels on these tachyons, these theoretical particles. And maybe these tachyons would also give us a lot of answers towards the missing information that we have towards dark matter and dark energy. That dark energy may come through the force of these tachyons if they happen to be true. Let's see how we're looking over here. What do you guys think? How do you feel about that? I'm wondering. I'm not going to be able to see the comments on YouTube until I. Oh no, because then when I close it out, I really won't be able to see it. Well, that's okay. Yeah, whatever. Anybody curious about this, you can leave comments. You're going to have to, if you're on YouTube, you're going to have to leave them after the video gets posted because this is not showing me the comments right now. But, that's all right. The real question here, I think, would be if we were able to see the future in our dreams accurately in any type of way, would there be any way to harness that, to use it in any type of way? What would be the practical application of understanding something like that? I think there's a lot of implications there. We can dream all day about the different possibilities of how we could change our lives or enhance our lives by maybe knowing which dreams are giving us glimpses into the future. Because even if it is true that some dreams tell the future, we know for sure that not all dreams tell the future. We've all had dreams of the past. But I do believe that dreams can transcend time. So the only way that we could really harness that and utilize it in any type of practical way would be to record the dreams and study them enough to understand which ones are giving us glimpses into the future. If it's an obvious dream about the past, then you can definitely just forget about that. You don't have to worry about that manifesting in the future some type of way. But you may have a dream of something that seems to be taking place in the past. It still may symbolically be representing things in your future, though. That's not too far-fetched either. So, I mean, I don't know. But it would all start with recording your dreams. And I've got my dream journal here, and I got my dream journals up for sale on my website. And it's a really powerful tool to use. Now that I'm looking, I see that my daughter scribbled all over this. You probably can't see it there, but there are some lines going across. Oh, and she also left me a nice picture. That's great. Okay, but this is my dream journal that I use, and I've been tracking them. And this, viewing it through the lens that we're talking about today, I was looking at it, and there seems to be some elements of the dreams that I've had in the last few months that have seemed to manifest themselves in different ways, of course. It's not usually as direct and as black and white as we like to make it seem. When it is, those are the ones that obviously stand out to us, but I don't believe it always works that way. So that's why it would be important to track your dreams and familiarize yourself with your dreams and the themes and the concepts in them. That's the best way to understand them. That's why I advocate for people to write down their dreams, or like I always say, record them in your phone as a voice or whatever you got to do. I have been talking to someone, and we're not there yet, but we will get there eventually. I have someone who is an app developer, and I would like to maybe work with a few other people on developing an app for your phone that can help you with tracking and recording your dreams and understanding them better. And over time, this app would obviously get better and better as the database increases. But I really think you can leverage AI these days in a way that can really help us pick up patterns and connect a lot of dots on a really large, massive scale, to where putting out an app like this could probably help us all unify our understanding of our dreams together collectively all across the world even. So I think the potential for that is, and then wouldn't just be about recording dreams. There could be features in that app that could help with lucid dream induction. We could include audio and different ways, different sounds, and whether we use isochronic tones or binaural beats or guided meditations. There's a lot of different ways. I think that could be a really extensive app that could have a lot of great resources to help people. In the end, honestly, in the end, it's all about mental health. It's all about mental and spiritual health. I believe, and I think I talked about it last week, but we need a more holistic approach to mental health. Because if there's no spiritual health, there's not going to be any mental health. So, and I think dreams are the gateway between our mind and our spirit. I really believe that. So understanding our dreams can help us heal both, I believe. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's the idea. Again, if anyone has any stories of any dreams that they know of that ever told the future from you or someone that you know, share it in the comments section. I'll definitely get back to everybody on that. Don't know how long we've been going here. How long's it been? Not very long. Okay, yeah, we're good. If I could keep this one short and sweet, it'll make it easier to edit it in the future. I'm going to be dropping another video real soon about auras. That's going to be, or I think it's going to be the chakras is going to be the next fully edited dream session that we drop. But from chakras to auras, and then I'm really excited to put up that video about angels and demons. That was a really extensive deep dive on that topic. So we'll get there. I'm getting there. Tonight, honestly, I wanted this video to be over a while ago, but it took me a long time to get set up. And I still wasn't able to stream the way that I wanted to, but hopefully I can work on that video tonight and drop that as soon as possible for some of you. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely gotta get these videos to stream to Facebook. I don't know what I did to mess it up this week, but I will have it figured out by next week so that we can get more action here and I can get more feedback from some of my regular people out there. But otherwise, it's all good. This has been fun. I'll probably call it a night. Hopefully this video doesn't get automatically shared as private. I guess we'll find out. Yeah. But that's it. That's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about. It doesn't seem that I think I'm not too sure. I think YouTube might have not. I think YouTube might be private over there. Whatever. Either way, like I said, I'm just kind of making these so I can download them later and edit them and share them. I can add visuals to it and all that. I do have some upcoming sessions that I've been preparing for. Like tonight, again, but it took me like 3 hours just to figure out how to get set up and get streaming, and then it still didn't work right. So it's like, I don't know, I ain't have much gas in the tank tonight for this, but I'm thinking next week I will put up the option and I'll let people vote, but I bet you most people are going to vote for a deep dive on the Egyptian Book of Dreams. So if that one wins in the votes, and I'm pretty sure it will, we'll make the next dream session about that. I want to go through the different dream themes in the Egyptian Book of Dreams. First, we'll talk about exactly what it is, and then we'll go through some of the, actually, maybe we can really go through all of them, all of the different types of dreams that are written about in the Egyptian Book of Dreams, and we could talk about their interpretations of them that they had thousands and thousands of years ago. Maybe even I was thinking I could go through some modern day dictionaries on dreams, and we can compare the more modern interpretations of those dreams to the more ancient interpretations from the Egyptian Book of Dreams. I think that'd be a really interesting comparison. Because I personally believe that most of those most of those books that have some sort of direct meaning to a specific symbol in a dream, most of those are just, it's almost like the children's version. Because it's never that easy, it's never that simple, and it's never that black and white, and it always takes a lot more context to actually understand what something means in a dream. And there's usually multiple layers, and a lot of times those dream dictionaries don't give you all the possible layers. But it's still fun, and it's honestly, growing up and as a kid, it was a lot of fun for me to try to go through those dream dictionaries and interpret my own dreams. I get it. It's almost like the astrology. Doesn't mean there's nothing to it. It just means that it's a very limited perspective to have on them. And I never want it to be limiting, because the potential of dreams is definitely unlimited. But maybe next week we will cross-analyze, we'll check out the Egyptian Book of Dreams, some of their meanings, and compare them to some of the modern interpretations of dreams. And then I can give my own personal breakdown on some of those symbols. How's that sound? Let me know in the comments. Dee, when you watch this, let me know what you think. I know you sent me a message about something you wanted me to check out. I will be looking at that tonight when I'm done here. And maybe we could do a session on that too. We'll see. Whatever's good. We're here. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. If anyone over on TikTok, I don't know what you guys were talking about before, but if anyone has any questions about any of this specifically, not about the Trump inauguration, I don't think I have the most valid opinion on that, because I haven't been keeping up with any of that stuff enough to really have a valid opinion on it. But my opinion basically stays the same. It's all a circus. It's become like the WWE circus with poor actors at this point and poor performers all across the board. So I'm not convinced by either side, or any of them in between, really. Obviously, everyone's got things I agree with and things I disagree with. But overall, none of it resonates with me. Don't appreciate the energy of politics, especially American politics these days. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I might call it a night. I'm going to be up for a little while here. I will be working on some videos. I'm not going to be up all night, though. But hopefully I could get that chakra video done for you guys and get that put out there. That would be really cool. I really want to get through some of those other dream sessions I was doing just strictly on the phone, so I can get to some of these newer ones that were done with the actual camera here. Oh, what's up, Dee? Yes, I am online. And yes, you caught the end of the session again. Yes, you did. It's all good. Actually, I guess it's good that it took me a while. But yeah, Dee, I was here. I went live like almost on time. I was like around 9:30, and my audio was messed up, so I had to close it out, and then I wasn't able to reopen it, and I wasn't able to get it going the way I had it, and I messed something up in my software or something. And I sat here for like 3 hours trying to figure it out. And so I finally gave up on that, decided to just stream live to YouTube and on TikTok through my phone. Wasn't able to get it set up for Facebook, but yeah, whatever. Lots of technical nonsense. I ain't even going to go through all of it. But yeah, took me way too long. So I just jumped up here and tried to lay some of this out as quickly as I could. But I don't know. I was also I was just talking about the dream session for next week. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't much of a great session, but it's all good. It was basically like 30 minutes of me going through some of this. Hopefully, it'll be a easy one to edit down. But what I really need to do for the upcoming days, I need to focus on editing that chakra video and getting that up so that I can edit the aura video and get that up. Also, I can finally edit the angels and demons video and get that up. I'm really excited about that. So, yeah, you're awesome, Dee Dee. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, and I'm calling for anybody else watching this in the future to let me know in the comments section if you've ever had a dream that told the future. We'll see what we can collect. I did that video on the history of dreams, or dreams throughout history, I think it's called. And I talked a lot about dreams that ended up coming true in that one. So I would definitely, once I'm done editing this, I will definitely link that in the comments. Thank you, Dee Dee. I will see you. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. You have a good night. I'm going to be signing off here. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I appreciate all you beautiful people. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your comments, even if they were about Trump. All good. Yeah, until next week. Hopefully next week we can cover the Egyptian Book of Dreams in great detail, because there's a lot to talk about there. I'm excited about that. All right, I'll close out YouTube first, and then I'm going to close out over on TikTok there. Peace and love, everyone. I appreciate all of you. Good night, Dee Dee.